Hi guys, today I want to show you how I tie that little craft shrimp I posted. I've prepared the hook ahead of time. It is a number 4 or size 4, 7 Mustad, and I've gone ahead and prepared it by bending the eye just a tad to create kind of like a jig hook, and this helps ride hook point up. And I've also got these bead chain eyes here next to the eye of the hook to help it again ride hook point up. And I've left myself just a little bit of room to finish that fly off, not much. So the first thing is I like to tie in the flash very first because I like the flash to come out straight behind the fly. I'm going to come back here to the bend. I've used red flash before. This is more of an orangey color. And I'm really just going to take 2 strands off of this. And I'm going to double it once. I like to tie it in halfway. Okay, next I tie in the eyes. And I've made these ahead of time. These are just mono eyes. I know you can buy them with, I actually put glass beads in, I think epoxy for these. But select 2 that look okay. Remember, because this is riding hook point up, try to tie these eyes so they're poking down a little bit. And I'm only going to do one at a time. I've got some pretty thick mono here for these eyes. So you'll see they curve, the mono curve, just how it came off the spool. And tie that curve down, almost like it's following the curve of the hook shank. And the length, you know, let it poke out a little bit like that. And I'm just going to put a couple of wraps on here. Secure it in place. I'm not doing anything special. And make sure that curve is right. You can go ahead and turn it. The thing likes to spin on you. And then I'm going to snip off that excess mono. I really don't want it all the way up. And repeat with the other eye. Actually, I'm going to grab a different eye. This one looks funny. Just kind of eyeball it, make it match. Put in a couple loose wraps. Tie it on. Snip it. And snip it the same length. And now that I've got both eyes on, I'm going to go ahead and cinch them down with some tighter wraps. Make sure they stay in and don't get pulled out. And I'm going to go ahead and put a dab of Sally Hansen on there. And while that's still kind of wet, the next thing I tie in, right on top of that little piece of goop, are the legs. And I'm only going to put 2 legs on here, 2 rubber legs. I left them stuck together and I'll tie them in that way. And then I will separate them afterwards. And I already cut it to fit. I want to get it lined up here real good. Go ahead and tie it in. And once you've done that, if you want, you can split them. I'm going to take a brown marker and mark these guys. Stretch it out a little bit. Get those marks on there. You can also split it when you're done. Now, the last step. I'm using a craft fur for a body, and what I'm going to do is dub it on with a dubbing loop. So first thing first, I'm going to create my dubbing loop. I'm sure you could dub it on with different methods or whatever you're most comfortable with. It'll probably work just fine. Bring my bobbin up to the front. It doesn't take a lot of craft hair, and this one I've got, or craft fur, is really kind of long. So I'm just going to take a little pinch. And I like that it's got a tapered, or it's got different lengths of fur in there, so I don't do much to separate it out. When you put it into your loop here in a second, your dubbing loop, a lot of anything that's really too small is going to come out. But I just take that dubbing loop, run fur up in there. I'm going to start here at the bottom and kind of pinch it and spread that fur out along the dubbing loop. I don't know if you can see that very well. Once I've got the fur in the dubbing loop, I just start spinning it. Spin, 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 spin. I read somewhere to let it reduce the length of the string or the dubbing loop by 10% or something, but I don't know. I just spin it till it looks good. If you spin it too far, it'll snap, so I don't do that. You want to avoid snapping it. And once you've got it on there, you kind of treat it like a hackle. And starting from the back, where I tie the legs in, just wrap it in. I'm going to wrap it in all the way to the front. And the shrimp that I posted on the website, you probably couldn't see the eyes, the V-chain eyes, because this method kind of obscures those V-chain eyes, and that's okay with me. I don't really care if the fish see the V-chain eyes so much as I just like that weight down there to make it ride the way I want. And take this dubbing loop even in front of the eyes, and I'm going to tie it off here in front of the eyes. What you're left with looks like a monster, kind of messy. I'm just going to cut off any excess here. I wrapped it. And we're basically done. I'm going to comb all this forward and create kind of a little mini head here and finish it off. I don't have a lot of room to mess around anyways. It's kind of a messy, buggy fly, but I don't know, I think that's good. Just like spinning deer hair though. Well, it's easier than that, but you gotta spend some time to clean it up. Maybe you don't. You know, it might be fine as ugly as this. Fish, you know, probably don't care. The way I like to tie it, because it rides hook point down, is I like to tie it with fur on top, and I pretty much don't touch this fur on top. But this fur on the bottom, I'm gonna go ahead and trim. I separate it out here between top and bottom. Just cut it off. You can also now separate your legs. Let's see if I can. And you're done. If you're so inclined, you might want to clean it up even more, but I like to comb that craft hair back. Just let it do its thing. There it is. Not too much special. Here's the here it is compared to the version I posted on the website. Let's see. On that one I've combed it and I've trimmed it a little better, but that's how I did it. Nothing magical. Okay, I don't know. Hopefully that's helpful. Maybe you guys have some ideas of how we can make it look better. I might even trim some of this extra long hair off, but that's it. Thanks.